Good evening, everyone. It is Brian here. Season's greetings, everybody, from your favorite YouTube enthusiast host of This Is What Brian Thinks Adventures. I just wanted to give you a special update of the last month of 2022 update and talk about some of the positive highlights, what has really happened over this past year. In fact, I want to tell you the best things that has really happened before as well as after I got my job with Loblaw City Market in Ice District. But before I get into any of that, I want to tell you all the positive things, what really happened. Over this past year, before and after this past summer, I was very understanding. It was very challenging, struggling for me to get my job issue sorted out. But I started turning things around between the end of this past summer and end of last summer and at the beginning of this fall in September, when I saw an advertisement that Loblaw City Market Ice District was having a career fair. So I had a job interview with the Loblaw City Market. Then I had orientation, and then I was trained and between the end of September and the beginning of the first few weeks of October, I was trained in the Brewery District Loblaws, and then after that, I transitioned and I started working for Ice District. In fact, November last month, my store Loblaw City Market had its grand opening in Ice District downtown 3-4 weeks ago. Feels like the first 2 months, doesn't it? In fact, I would respectfully want to tell each and every one of you is that I have made a lot of amazing YouTube videos over the past year of this last year, 2022. In fact, for those who would like to know, is that I did some YouTube videos of are you ready to hear this? Last spring, last March, and last April of last year, 2022, I did a YouTube video of Stevens Elevators, of the ThyssenKrupp Northern Traction Glass Elevators at Meriden Plaza, that I have the links on YouTube. They are very amazing as well. And I also did something special for my 29th birthday in May of last spring. My mom and I, we saw the DreamWorks movie The Bad Guys at Landmark Theatres 9 in the downtown in Edmonton City Centre. And the following day, we saw Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And then later on at the end of last spring, we saw Tom Cruise Top Gun Maverick, the screening of Top Gun Maverick after the May long weekend last May. It was very amazing too. In fact, we also got to see the new Disney Pixar movie of Lightyear at the beginning of last summer, on the last week of last June of last year, 6.5 months ago. Feels like that, the way I translate the months, doesn't it? But most of all, I'd like to tell you is that I was very understanding before and after I got my job issue sorted out. And for those who would like to know, is that at the end of this past summer, at the beginning of this fall of 3-4 months ago, this past September, I got to go to the model train show at Millennium Place in Sherwood Park, and also got to attend the Comic-Con at the Edmonton Expo Center this fall at the end of this past summer in September as well. In fact, it was a lot of fun. And for those of you who would like to know, is that I started bowling for Special Olympics in the month of October, 2 months ago, on October 16th, after I started working for Loblaw City Market. And for those of you who would like to know, is that I have started attending Soundwave again at West Edmonton Mall World Water Park as VIP, as always. And this year, I plan to find a I plan on a girlfriend who loves attending raves, Soundwave, who loves attending festivals, travels the way I do, love being around people at pool dance parties at West Edmonton Mall World Water Park. Getting to know one another in a respectful manner would really mean a whole lot to me, the way I always do. And most of all, I got to have my friends for my 29th birthday party in May of this past spring of last year, 7.5 months ago, almost 8 months ago. Feels like that the way I translate the months. And I did bowling at the Plaza Bowling Company near my campus of my school at NAIT as well. And also, I got to go to the Valley Line open house of the Bonnie Doon Valley Line station on the south side last spring as well. And for those of you who would like to know, is that this past July of last summer, this past year, on Canada Day, last Canada Day of Canada's 155th birthday, I did a YouTube video of the ETS Bus 2007 New Flyer diesel 40-foot low-floor bus unit of 4739 on 8 University. Also did a retake of the ThyssenKrupp Northern Traction elevators at the Edmonton Federal Building by Alberta legislator, and I also got to go to the pancake breakfast this past summer, and also went to the Canada Day events in the Ice District downtown, as well as the checking out some of the Canada Day events along Old Strathcona Wide Ave. And also did a YouTube video of ETS Bus 2009 New Flyer diesel 40-foot low-floor bus unit of 4759, and took a picture of ETS Bus 2009 New Flyer diesel 40-foot low-floor bus unit of 4759 Eau Claire's with the sign that said Happy Canada Day. So I took a picture of that, posted that on Facebook comments as well. So my friends have liked that too, and one of my friends who I had as my old teachers in LY Currents, Mark Mr. Eady, saw my picture, so he clicked like on, and I got some notifications as well. And this past summer, I also focused very hard on my job hunt over this past year for many months since last December of last year. It was very struggling and challenging last spring and over last summer, but by mid-September, I was interviewed with the Loblaw City Market, had orientation, and trained in the Brewery District for the first between the end of September and the first couple of weeks of October before Thanksgiving weekend. And then I started helping with the grand opening with the Loblaw City Market for Ice District location. And that's where I'm working nowadays too. And for those of you who would like to know, is that I'm also going to be looking at courses I'm interested in taking for school before the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on the final weekend of December and the winter break. And 6 weeks from now, early mid-January of next month, of this winter of 2023, I will be in Adobe Photoshop Level 1 between Saturday, January 14th, January 21st, and January 28th of January this winter. 2 months from now, 8 weeks from now, feels like that, I will be in Illustrator Adobe Level 1 at MacEwan University over the first 3 Saturdays of this February before Family Day Monday long weekend. And after the Family Day long weekend, between the end of this February and the beginning of this March, I will be in Adobe InDesign Level 1. So I'm committed for that as well. And I also would like to tell you is that part of this last month of 2022 update is something very exciting what's going to be happening this year, this spring, this April in 2023. So here goes. For those, excuse me, got a little something in my teeth here for a second. For those of you who would like to know, this spring, at the end of this April, less than 5 months from right now, I am doing a Special Olympics bowling tournament at Bonnie Doon Bowling Lanes at the end of this April, this spring, in 4.5 months from right now. So I'm very excited to tell each and every one of you of that as well. So, and I'm very thrilled to let you all know is that I have also made a lot of right decisions over this past year till I got things turned around. And right now, my mom and I are also going to get me going back to school, getting into some courses I'm interested in taking before the winter break, as well as after the Christmas weekend and the winter break. I have my Saturday courses at MacEwan University over the first 3 months, 9 weeks of this year, of January, February, March this year, come 2023. I'm also in the process of thinking about ideas what I want to do for my birthday this spring, this May of this year in 2023, in honor for my 30th birthday in May of this year as well. Since I would like to tell you, over the summer, I did bike ride a little bit too, even though I didn't get to go traveling to Calgary for Calgary Stampede, that I had to postpone my Stampede Calgary visit for the last 3 summers. In 3 years ago, summer, July 2020, 2 years ago, last summer, July 2021, and this past summer of July of last year, this past year of 2022, I had to postpone for a 3rd straight year, and it was the best for me to hold off another year. So, and it was the right thing for me to do. So my mom and I, we did other things over the summer. So we got me registered for Special Olympics bowling. We did that after we went to Heritage Day Festival at Hawrelak Park at the end of this past July on the Civic Holiday Heritage Day long weekend. It was a lot of fun too. In fact, my mom and I, this summer in August, we saw DC League of Super Pets at Landmark Cinemas in Tamarack. And later on, the last week and a half of this past summer in August, we got to see the Gulliver's Returns. And also, at the end of last summer and the beginning of this fall of this September, I saw DC League of Super Pets again. And also, after I saw the movie, I saw my friend Kishan and also met his mom, Tatiana, as well. And for those of you who would like to know, is that at the beginning of this September, 3-4 months ago, on Labor Day September long weekend, I got to check out the new Davies Transit Center, Davies Station Valley Line LRT, near the Wagner area, outside of Mill Woods. It's very nice and it's very convenient. It's got open city Wi-Fi. It has USB charging devices. They also have escalator connections, stair connections. They also have an Otis elevator being installed as well. For those of you who would like to know, is that before the Davies Transit Center, Davies Station Valley Line LRT area was open in September, this past summer, after the Civic Holiday August long weekend, 4 or 5 months ago last August, I also went to the career fair at the Edmonton Convention Center downtown before I got the job with Loblaw City Market in Ice District. And likewise, for those of you who would like to know, is that I had made the very best of this past summer, even though it was disappointing for me not being able to go see my friends away in Calgary for Calgary Stampede, but I made a very responsible, very understanding, safe decision to hold off one more year until this summer of this year, July 2023, as well as the following summer of July 2024, 2025, 2026, and beyond. Most importantly, folks, I'm still going to plan my travels in between my work, school, as well as my bowling Special Olympics bowling schedule as well. And for those of you who would like to know, is that I have been doing much better on my Special Olympics bowling. So mid-October, after when I first started, I did 109 and 95 points on the first day, and then second 80, 90 points, so 170, and then I got better to 227, 217 points, 195 points, and last Sunday I scored a total of 243 points. When you take your time and bowl slowly, you also, I would like to say, is that if you aim for the middle, you can also get strikes, splits, and you can also get spares too. In fact, I'm also getting much better as well, and I'm focusing very hard because I have a Special Olympics bowling tournament this spring, this April, 4 or 5 months after Christmas and after the winter months is over. So lots of excitement is up in the air too. Some of you would like to know is that this is also going to be live, so I'm going to have it live for tomorrow, Friday, December 2nd. So please, I'm going to make this very special for each and every one of you as well. And come Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I will say Merry Christmas Eve come Saturday, December 24th, and Merry Christmas on Christmas Day, Sunday, December 25th as well. And I would like to tell each and every one of you is that I will provide a Happy New Year's Eve and provide a special closing to 2022 update on the last day of Saturday, December 31st of New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2022, with a special opening of Happy New Year on New Year's Day, Sunday, January 1st, a month from today as well, and say Happy New Year's Day, January 1st of 2023, and also provide a 2023 update at the beginning of this January as well. And folks, I really want to say is that I'm still going to plan my trips to Hamilton, our old place in Ontario, on my travels this year, and use our familiar HSR bus routes in Hamilton on my visits where my mom and I used to go to a long time ago. Since I know the way to Mohawk College, Frank Cook Transit Terminal, the McNabb Transit Center bus terminal, our Hamilton Go Center, Sam Lawrence Park, Upper Gage and Rymel Plaza and Lime Ridge Mall, Jackson Square, take the GO train at Aldershot Station, where my Auntie Paula's place is not that far in Waterdown, since I know the HSR buses and the GO Transit. And I'm going to still take the subway and the streetcar on the same familiar routes on the TTC in the downtown area in Toronto during the day, because I'm very responsible what I do, and I do the right thing, stay against the wall, behind the yellow line, in the middle of the platform, on our Bloor Danforth line, and our Yonge University Spadina line, between Bloor Yonge Station, Union Station, and St. George Station, and our Bloor Danforth line between Bloor Yonge Station, Dufferin Station, our Ossington Station, Christie, Bathurst, Spadina Station, St. George Station, and Bay Station. And I'm very wise about the rules on the streetcar, as well as the GO train and GO bus. And I have my Presto card in excellent condition that I'm going to use again this year in 2023, as well as the following next year, 2024 as well. So we'll, as like my mom always says, we'll try to get things figured out, and I can work around between my work, school, and Special Olympics bowling. And I'm also going to plan to attend Soundwave for my 30th birthday this spring in May of this year, 2023, less than 6 months from now. And my 31st birthday, May 2024 as well. And my 32nd in 2025. So I really want to say thank you for hearing about last month of 2022 update. It's going to go live tomorrow, December 2nd. So I'll have it ready live for each and every one of you then. Have yourselves a good night, everybody. Thank you for hearing me talking about the last month of 2022 update, December 1st of 2022. Season's greetings, Merry Christmas, and be sure to stay tuned for mid-December 2022 update, Have yourselves a good night, everyone. Stay safe. Good night.